we all understand the type of climate that we're dealing with. We're dealing with multiple offer situations.
I'd love to know sort of what's your why? What makes you tick? Why are you so successful?
Have a dialogue with your lawyer. Have a dialogue with your agent.
Both sort of passionate about sort of what we do.
Again, vet your agent to make sure that they're experienced and they're local. I like that idea.
No excuse to miss it on Saturdays from 8 to 9.
That's right.
WBZ.
And now, the show that gives you the latest and most relevant housing market news. Real Estate Radio Boston with financial expert Rick Scherer and legal professional Ali Alavi.
Welcome back. Real Estate Radio Boston, WBZ 1030. You can always reach us at 855-4-ASK-RICK. That's 855-4-ASK-RICK. Call us all things real estate. We are a real estate concierge.
Yeah, you can visit us at realestateradio.boston.com. All of our expert contributors are there. And as we say it week in, week out, we've already vetted them. So definitely use us as your real estate concierge.
Right. We've got no guests this segment. It's me and you.
Well, I mean, we are guests, aren't we? We're guests every week.
So what I wanted to do, and I got an email from a past client yesterday afternoon. So, I've called you and I said, I think we need to dedicate a whole segment to this. And here's who it is. We're talking to homeowners right now. Mm-hmm. Homeowners that are seeing the property around them get a little crazy and see interest rates still really, really low and saying, I need to act. Okay, so this particular client called me and said, hey, I'm not quite at break even on my property yet. I'm still a little bit underwater. Mm-hmm. I can bring cash to take care of that. No big deal. But I need a mortgage product with low money down for the next property. But we went through the numbers. He can get a 4-bedroom and get rid of his 3-bedroom and keep his payment almost the same.
Right.
So what we want to do is talk to home sellers out here that say, I just don't know where to start. I don't want to put my house on the market and then turn around and have a place to go, because I know my house is going to sell quickly, but how am I gonna find something to get into?
Sure. I mean, I think the overall message here is I don't think you should wait. I think that, essentially the market is going to continue to appreciate. We're going to talk to Steve Harney in the next segment, and he's going to give us really hardcore numbers that's going to support that. But based on all indications that we see, the prices are going to continue to appreciate. So waiting, I don't think, is the right advice there. I think. As far as interest rates, what do you think, Rick?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we're in the low 4% right now. I think every single the National Association of Realtors, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, everybody is sort of in consensus that we're going to have a 5 in front of that number come next year. Hey, and we talked about it in the Mortgage Minute. Right. I mean, $313 a month just by waiting a year, more in a monthly payment.
We had Barry Habib on a couple of weeks ago. I mean, he's a bond expert, and he was telling us, and you know what? The guy is a magician when it comes to interest rates.
Right.
So we know that the interest rates are going to go up.
All right. So let's assume that if you wait, it's going to cost you more money on a monthly payment. So with that being said, home sellers, first of all, you guys need to get your properties ready for sale. Okay, and that is bringing in a listing agent, maybe bringing in 1 or 2, maybe 3 listing agents, and we can refer 1 or 2 to you as well. But bring them in and find out what the comparable market analysis on your house is. If you were to sell it today, what are you working with? I get a ton of phone calls from people not getting blown away by saying, I didn't think my house was even worth that much. Well, now I can. Now I do have equity. So that's the first step, is call us and get a listing agent into your home to find out what you need to do to get it ready. And once you do that, what your property can be worth.
Absolutely. And we've had those listing agents on the show. Right. And those listing agents tell you, well, not only am I going to provide you with a comparative market analysis, but I'm also going to give you advice on how to declutter your home, how to depersonalize your home, how to stage it, how to increase the curb appeal. And you can always contact Kelly Weber at Interim Furnishings and employ her services, not only in staging your home, but also decluttering and depersonalizing. I think that speaks volumes.
And the reason why we're starting with this is because that could take 45 days to get your house into show-ready condition. So
Absolutely.
That's the first thing we need you to, the home sellers, to do out there, is get your property ready, get the experts in, find out what you're working with. The next step before you put the house on the market is to give me a call and do a mortgage plan, an outright mortgage plan, showing you kind of what you're paying today and what we can do moving forward, depending on how much equity you have, or if you don't have a lot of equity. Elise Barron here, we talk about all the time. We've got USDA, zero money down. VA loans, no money down. She was just telling me a few minutes ago that they're getting out of a home, getting into a USDA, zero money down, and getting in a neighborhood and another bedroom.
Sure.
Now is the time to do that. If you've got 5% down, we've got no PMI programs. If you got 20% down, great. Okay, so give me a call. We'll do a mortgage plan, free mortgage plan, get you pre-approved, make sure your credit's where it needs to be, make sure your debt to income's where it needs to be. So that way, when you put the house on the market and it goes during the first open house, you're ready to go and get aggressive on your next property.
Listen, as sellers, I was a seller, you were a seller, and we sold and bought, etc. I think sellers have anxiety towards this. There's too many moving parts. They're selling their home. They're contemplating on purchasing another home. I think the advice that I would give them, and I think you would mirror this advice, is make sure that you surround yourself with a team. Have that mortgage professional on your side. Make sure that Rick's pre-approving you, and at least you know what you can actually afford if you sell your home. Make sure that he pulls the credit and says, hey, you got issues. You don't have issues. But have a good lawyer that's going to be able to orchestrate not only your sale, but also your purchase. The same agent that's going to be listing the property, they really ought to be helping you with identifying your property that you want to purchase. Make sure it's the same team that you've surrounded yourself with.
And I'll tell you, if you're a first-time home seller trying to put this team together by yourself, it's going to be nerve-wracking. So if you can, give us a call. We'll sort of put the team around you that all work well. Outside of around the perimeter of you. Make sure that you're not the center of all the questions, and really, really put you in a position that you are so comfortable moving forward with getting your house listed and looking for the next property.
Real estate is emotionally taxing. Okay, and so having the right team around you is going to be able to reduce the amount of anxiety. We're going to be able to manage those emotions and expectations. But here's what I will tell you. At the end of the day, you need to be at least psychologically prepared to get into a temporary housing. If it really, that's your last option. We'll try to avoid that,
right,
but you need to psychologically be prepared for the worst case scenario.
Yeah, and so again, when we go through the mortgage plan, we'll sort of talk about what the rates are today, what that means for your mortgage payment. Let's say if you bought another went up $100,000 in a purchase price, which, by the way, if you go up $100,000 or $200,000 in a purchase price, and we have 5 or 10% appreciation, well, where are you winning? If you have a $600,000 house, 10%, or if you have a $400,000 house at 10% appreciation.
Exactly.
It's the bigger house. So we'll sort of get you comfortable there by using Ali and his team and a real estate agent that we know and knows what they're doing. You're gonna, and I want you to talk to this, Ali, is how do you get them protected for when they put their house on the market to make sure they won't be homeless?
I'll talk about 2 really critical points. I'll leave some of the other points off, but I think that as lawyers, we can certainly advise the clients in terms of what type of contingencies to build into the offer. One of the most effective flexibility really is what we're talking about. So essentially having a flexible close date. So having a contingency that says subject to sell is suitable housing, finding suitable housing. I mean, that you can vet the terms there. Effective employment of use and occupancy agreements. We've talked to that effect in previous shows. It's an agreement that gets sorted out by the seller and buyer that allows the seller to occupy the property, continue to occupy the property after the closing date.
Right.
At times, buyers don't even ask for consideration for the period that they're going to use it and occupy, based on the fact that we are dealing with a super seller market.
Right. Sellers are in the driver's seat.
Exactly. So there's different ways that we can add flexibility, reduce the amount of anxiety, and allow the two sort of transactions to be able to play side by side.
But there's a reason why we're kind of going in this order. Get your house ready, then sit down with me, and then put it on the market. But no, because what happens is, and this happens, gotta say twice a week, where I get a phone call. Oh my God, We fell in love with this house. Our house isn't even ready. We got to paint, we got to do all this stuff, but I need to buy this house. But if we put an offer on the house, we need to do a contingency, a sale of our house. Guess what, guys? Home sale contingencies are really, really tough to get accepted nowadays. Mm-hmm. So you've got, before you go into MLS, before you have an agent out there driving you around, you got to make sure that the house you're looking to sell is all ready to go before your wife falls in love with that beautiful house down the street. And guess what? She has to have it.
Right.
Now what?
Now you're not prepared.
Now you're not prepared.
Yeah, and you're going to be challenged with all the various things we're trying to sort of forestall.
So here's what I tell you. Okay, I'm using your term. Here's what I tell you is send us a text, okay, to 617-548-7425. Okay, it's going to be on the website as well. 617-548-7425. Text the word sell, okay? And what we're going to do, okay, we're going to put you in touch depending on where your property is located, what's going on with it. We're going to put you in touch with a team that will no obligation, no cost, no anything. Go in there, see where you stand, and let's get you ready because we need the inventory. Get it on the market, get yourself a new property. We'll take it from there.
That sounds good.